told you guys I had 3 cats. Here's the 3rd one. This is our first parents in the video. Say hi to the people. Hi people. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and today we are going to be talking about my tips to afford luxury handbags and shoes and clothes, everything that you might want on a broke bitch budget. Because let's be real, not all of us have Melbourne money to be dropping all the time. These things are super expensive and it can be really overwhelming to look at your finances, look at the things that you want and think, can I really afford this? And my advice is you can, you have to be smart about it. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So my very first tip on being able to afford the luxury handbag of your dreams is to give yourself an allowance. That sounds really lame, but honestly, I swear to God, it works. Take a portion of your income, however you get paid, if you get paid weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, whatever, take a small portion of that, put it away, it's your allowance, and you don't touch it until you have enough to buy a bag. It's so simple that it's practically stupid. When I was saving for my first bag, I was still working in a restaurant. I would get paid in cash. I would come home with cash every night, usually between $100 to $200, and depending on where I was in that range, I would take anywhere from $5 to $10, put it in an envelope, and then I didn't touch that envelope. That would just sit and get saved for my bag. It can feel really hard when you're saving for something that's maybe like $1,500, $2,000 in $5 increments, but honestly, it's gonna be totally worth it when you finally get your hands on the bag and you think, wow, I really worked for that, I really saved, I did this for me. It's gonna feel great, trust me. My second tip on how to afford a luxury handbag on a budget is to take what you want to do, buy a luxury handbag, and pair it with something else that you want to do. For me, super simple. I want to buy a Chanel 19 in Paris. I also want to stop buying lunch at work when I already have a lunch that I brought from home. How do I combine these two things? Super simple. Whenever I am sitting at work and the girls are ordering lunch and they ask me what I want, I think, do I really want that buffalo chicken wrap? Do I really want those chicken fingers? Or do I want a Chanel 19 bag? I take the $10 that I would have thrown into the lunch pool and just set it aside. I could physically transfer $10 from my checking account into my savings account. Sometimes it's just a mental thing. I just take a pause. I'm not gonna spend $10 today because I want to buy my Chanel 19 in Paris. I think that can work with a lot of things. It's kind of like rewarding yourself for building a habit. Like maybe you want to work out 3 times a week. Every time you work out 3 times a week, you put away $10. Or you want to read more books this year. Every time you finish a book, put away a little bit of money. By combining things that you already want to do with the financial side of it, I think it makes it a little more palatable. Put aside money for yourself because it feels like you're rewarding yourself for something you've already done. At the same time, it's not as boring as I just got my paycheck and now I'm gonna take the 7.3% that I can afford and shove it aside into my savings account. Kind of like a little game, you know what I mean? Maybe that's just me, but it's worked. By the way, if you're enjoying today's video, if you like luxury fashion, if you like handbags, if you like super cute cats, or you just like hanging out with someone who talks a lot and has a lot of opinions, I would really love it if you would consider hitting that subscribe button, ringing my bell, and joining me back here on my channel. I have a lot of fun here. I think you will too. Also, I'm getting kind of close to my first 100 subscribers and I'm thinking that I might do a giveaway when we get to that point. So if you maybe want to stick around and see what that might be, it's free. Can I say? Number 3 is honestly the most difficult for me at this point in time, and that is to stop buying things that you don't actually want that bad just because you can afford them. And by that I mean you're saving money, you have a little bit saved up, say maybe, you know, you're saving for a pochette Matisse that's around $2,000 and you've got about $1,000 now and it's burning a hole in your pocket and you're like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go to Michael Kors, I'm gonna buy a $500 bag, I'm gonna buy a new wallet, and I'm gonna have all this new stuff, it's gonna make me feel so much better. And then you're gonna get home and you're not going to have that $1,000 that you worked for anymore. And you're going to be no closer to getting the pochette Matisse that you actually really wanted. You're going to be right back where you started. I have a bad habit of doing things like that. I have a really bad habit of money burning a hole in my pocket. You know the thrill when you buy something new. It's exciting. You save up $300 and you're like, oh, I have enough to buy a card holder. You know what? Forget it. I'm going to buy a new card holder. You gotta stop doing that. If that's what you really want, if that what you're saving for is the card holder or the Michael Kors bag or, you know, the Tory Burch tote or whatever it may be, ignore me because that's not what I'm talking about. If your goal is to buy something more expensive, like a Louis Vuitton handbag, like a Gucci handbag, you have to stop setting yourself back because you're never gonna get to the bag. It's gonna continue to feel unattainable. You're gonna have all this for lack of a better word, crap laying around that you don't actually like. I need to take that hint from myself. By the way, I am in no way trying to sound preachy or like pretend like I'm a financial expert or like I know better than anybody else, because I absolutely do not. I'm just pulling this from my own personal mistakes that I've made in saving, where I get to a certain point and then I'm like, I have money, let's go shopping, and I don't ever end up with the thing that I actually wanted in the first place, and I don't like the stuff that I bought. Take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. It's just what's worked for me. That's all. Okay, and on the flip side of that same point, something else that really helped me when I first started saving for luxury bags, it was actually after I bought my first one and then I was ready to buy another one, is to sell the things that you're no longer using. My first bag that I ever got was my Louis Vuitton Speedy. I got it as a wedding present. Once I had that bag in my hands, I wasn't using any of my other bags, like for anything. I wasn't using any of my other like contemporary bags that I had before. They were just sitting in my closet collecting dust. There was a few months later, I wanted to buy a new bag. I was trying to justify the cost of it, and I thought, I have all of these bags sitting in my closet that are collecting dust. Why am I holding on to these? So I sold them. I sold them on eBay. I took that money that I made and I put it right towards a new bag. And that was just like, why hadn't I done that before? Like, why was I sitting here with all these bags that I didn't use, wishing that I could buy something new? Get rid of the emotional attachment to the things that you have. I'm talking to myself specifically here. I get emotionally attached to my stuff. Talk to my therapist, I don't know. Not only are you purging your closet of things that you no longer need, you're giving your stuff that you have a second life with someone who might actually really want it. That might be their dream bag that they've been saving for. And there you go, you just provided it for them and you get to take that money and put it towards your new dream bag. It's a win-win all around. That's all I'm saying. And last but not least, if you're trying to buy a luxury bag on a budget, you might want to consider going the pre-loved route. And I say this hoping that if you do choose to take that route, that you do your research, you buy from an authenticator, and you also make sure that you're not spending more than you would be spending retail. I don't know if a lot of people realize that, especially if you're just getting into the luxury handbag game. You have to do your research, because if your dream bag that you are saving for is a Chanel classic flap, you might actually be spending more money on the pre-loved market than you would be if you went and bought it retail. I really like that new Louis Vuitton Neverfull from the On the Beach collection, and I saw it on Fashion Files, so Emily said, you know, if you want to save money, go the pre-loved route, so I'm going to listen to her and I'm going to buy it pre-loved. Don't do that, because it's going to be more money, because it's an exclusive piece that people buy so that they can sell it for more than they bought it for. So just be careful of that kind of stuff, but you definitely can save a lot of money going the pre-loved route. You can get really great stuff, and again, in the same vein of my last point, you're taking something, you're giving it a new life. It's more sustainable. Either way, if you get your hands on a bag and it's in good condition and it's what you really want, that's all that really matters. Nobody's gonna know if you bought it from the Louis Vuitton store or if you bought it from Fashion File. Nobody knows, nobody cares, trust me. I don't care. If anybody tries to judge you for it, you can send them to me. I'll kick their ass. So that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, you know, my tips on how I afford my champagne taste on a beer budget, if you will. If you have any tips on how you afford luxury handbags and fashion that are different from the ones that I mentioned in this video, please leave them in the comments down below for us. I know I'm always looking for them. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you're definitely looking for more tips as well. But yeah, anyway, that is it for today's video, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye!